Yo Rana, and welcome to FM Tahiti. Hope you're all doing well. Thanks for joining me for this episode. For everyone who's watched and liked and commented so far, thanks very much. Appreciate it. A lot more activity this time around for FM20 than FM19. Now I've kind of got into it and improved things a bit, and I really do appreciate you all taking the time to watch, even if you're just dipping it out for different bits and pieces. If there is anything you want to see more of or less of, like the face, just let me know and I'll try and put it in. A lot of the knowledge I'm getting for the teams and the nations and things like that are just from searching online. So there will be occasional misspellings, many mispronunciations, and probably some facts that are quite right. So if you are from an island in French Polynesia and I've done something completely wrong, do let me know. It's not intentional. I've also used one of my favourite Christmas presents this year from my brother, Tahiti in French Polynesia. He knows I'm not ever going to be able to afford to go there unless, Air Tahiti decides they're going to sponsor the YouTube series. Just at me. I'm there. But he does know I love all the islands and stuff like that. And obviously my brother was the one that we started this sort of save together back in FM12, 13. We were just playing as a network save with the one league. So that's a nice gift from him. So I'm using both the internet and that guy to try and get my facts up for you. So in our first match we're going to play in this episode, so we're going to get 2 matches in, if we can try and squeeze them in, is against Tupai, so one of the Tahitian islands, not too far away from the mainland. I mean, quite far, but not as far as some islands. You can't see the badge on there, unfortunately. It's got a little bird, some coconuts, because the island's got lots of birds and coconuts, lots of coconut farming going on there. Not all the islands in French Polynesia have coconuts. So, for example, Rapa Iti is too far south, and it's it's tropical but cooler than the other places, so it doesn't have any. But basically, Tupai, it's got lots of birds, got lots of coconuts, fairly standard, and we're going to play there. I can't see much about their team yet because it's only just sort of started. I see their interesting kind of cautious mentality, but I don't think I can see anything about their kind of key players. So Gay's meant to be their key player. I can see a little bit about him. But not much else. Oh, he looks like he might be good. Okay, a lot of the teams are going to be better than us. To be honest, playing the Tupai Arena. Some stadiums have got better names than the Tupai Arena. It depends what kind of history they've got. See how they did. They also lost their opening match. They've got a goal difference of -3. So that might be good for us. And I'm going to keep on playing matches on camera until we eventually win, just so you can see that I can win, can do it. Riviera's hurt, so let's just bring them off. Stick them on. It's kind of bench covered. We don't have much depth. If things carry on going badly with injuries and internationals, we'll be kind of stuffed with this. But other teams are in the same position. The first season or two takes a little while to kind of even out. Until the kind of first lot of youth intakes happen, there's not a huge pool of players to draw from. Yeah, underdogs, do it. Did okay, yeah, it's fine. I would do too many individual team talks until I get a better idea what's going on. So we're in our... Oh, really? What's this? What's going on with that? This is their stadium, not ours, so we'd have to put with that camera angle that often. Yeah, we're now fetching yellow and red stripes. And Tupai in their traditional, almost Inter Milan kind of colours. I'm hopeful about this tactic. I think we can do well with it. I've been using it in other... Oh, what a tackle. No. Come on, is he going to get away without... Nah, of course, that was a red. Okay. Let's just play one at the back. Well, not 1, 3, but, one centre-back. Yeah, it might be a little while until we get our first win. I'm confident in this. See, let's not stop them getting stuck in. I've told them all to get stuck in. Go on. Oh, got a shot off. Yeah, I'm hopeful that this tactic will work when everyone's on the pitch and all positions are filled properly. Be using it for Belfast. It's been doing alright in the other save. Oh, what a move. We managed to avoid it being obscured by this as well, but that's from the set piece. Yeah, nodded it down in space. So a player down, but a goal up. First goal scorer for us as well. Penny Vaka Tupa. Tapu. I was wrong. And there's another one. Tau Fu Vea. One of those pronunciations might be right. Again, set piece related. Nodded on. And then the rebound. So it's not directly the set piece, but it's all about getting to the second ball. Fairly pleased with that as a start. 2 goals up, even though we're a player down. I was saying this tactic's been working pretty well for Belfast. It's been working even better for a different save I've been playing. Because I thought about doing the defugue challenge off, just off camera. So when I'm not recording, when I don't want to get too far ahead, I can just injured. I could just put that one on. Yeah, he'll do. I don't know why I'm looking at him to see whether he's any good. It's not like I've got a huge amount of options. Yeah, either way, they're not good players, are they? Yes, I'm doing the defugue challenge, my kind of offline save, so I don't get too far ahead with other things. I've got something to play when I'm waiting to kind of catch up with recordings. And if you're not aware of it, defugue challenge, you can see it on the forums. You can check out what people do and get advice for it as well. It's where, go on there. Almost. Yeah, it's where you holiday forward a season to see which new teams get promoted to the bottom leagues, so the Vanarama North and South. And then... Oh, don't they look stressed? Maybe I should tell them to be calm. Happy? Improve? No, he's still stressed. Okay, I'm happy. Okay, so there's only one of them left. Stressed. So you see which teams get promoted. So the team that wasn't playable beforehand in the vanilla version of the game, you take over them, see if you can take them to sort of Champions League and Premiership glory. So I took over Whitby Town because they're from Yorkshire, like me. I've been to Whitby a few times. It's no Hornsey, but it's good. You know. And I've been using this tactic with them, and because it's... I really can't see what's going on with this. But because Vanarama North is still kind of better than this league here, and the Northern Irish leagues that I'm playing in, I've actually been able to recruit really good players for the key positions. So attacking midfielder, defensive midfielder, wingers, they're pretty key. And I'm unbeaten, regularly putting in like 6 against teams. That was really good. I mean, really poor defending. That was really good. See, I'm putting, the goals in, getting the shots, putting the moves together. It's really good when you've got really good players. We're still doing alright with it, even though our players are rubbish. Good volley. I don't know how he scored his first goal, but he might be on for a perfect hat trick if he can head the next one in. They've got some quite big defenders because he's 6'7". Obviously, he managed to get to it, but interesting. Almost. Just saying random words now. Might as well just be going, It doesn't feel like we've got one less player than them. Go on. Just a bit too much on it for him. 15 shots to their 8. 9 on target to their 2. Dived over him. See lots of direct balls through. Once we get some really good players, I reckon this will do the business. I'm really looking forward to getting the youth intake as well. Sort of embedding the players in the team. It's an odd kind of database as well, because there's not a huge amount of money in the actual leagues in terms of prize money and stuff like that. So I'll show you after this. Oh, they've got to play set off. Now it's even. I need drama here today, that is true. Yeah, there's not a huge amount of prize money, so if you really want to succeed, you need to get into the French Cup, you need to get into the OCL, and then hope that you win the OCL when it's a Club World Championship year. Class. Because it doesn't happen every year anymore. Previous versions of FM it did, and I think now it's, I say every 3 years, so it's probably every 4 or something like that. And the money in it's not as good. So you really want to start doing well early so you can get what little prize money there is. Shore up. Oh, scramble. No clean sheet for us. That was pretty poor from us. Yeah, once the prize money comes in, then we can start sharing it around. Not necessarily giving it to other teams, but start putting in some transfer bids for some real money. £4,000 instead of 400, which is what we've gone for. We bought Tahiti, who's yet to play because he's on international duty still. Still hassling him. Let's make a couple of subs after this. Gone through. Almost. That's why it's good having the extra attacking midfielder there. Right, let's put on Funaki for Vakatapu. And Olivetti to Fangaloka. On for Lukau Tatuaki. I'm going to give him some nicknames at some point. And once some prize money comes into the league, it'll start spreading around and transfers will get a little bit better. But the real benefit comes from when we start producing youth players that might actually be good. And then other countries might come in and we might get some money that way. Or we might improve the team by having them in our team. So I think we'll be able to hold on to them long if we do get anyone good. Time for one more goal maybe. Put them through. It was a bit late. At least he gets something from it. That's a little bit greedy. Stop him. Yeah, there we go. Nicely defended. Through. They'd given up. He wasn't going to run for that. It was too late. With 2 goals up. Nobody wants that one either. And you can see it's not full attendance here, so that eventually as the leagues or the seasons go on, attendances will gradually rise for the successful teams. You'll get more gate receipts as well. We'll see some stadiums being built and stuff like that. Should be nice. And one of the things I really enjoy as well is the fact that the more we play, the more we'll start to recognise opposition players. We'll get a bit of history with them. So we've already established that I hate Hitiraa because they're scum. Just in case you missed it in the other video, Hitiraa scum. Simply because my brother managed them. But we'll learn about other players and things like that. Their own kind of personalities by the end of it. Nice, simple goal at the end. Just a little bit more kind of insult to injury for them. So the sub to the sub. Olivetti to Sulasi. Can't be much left to play. Or through again. Nice. Oh, kept it alive. Bit of a scramble. Yeah, again, that's why it's really good having the attacking midfielder there, because suddenly you end up with 3 up front. Oh, penalty. Soft penalty. We should still win this, but saved. Impressive. The young goalkeeper Larry. He's on loan. Come on. Out wide. So look at all these people lining up there. I know they've got players sent off, but so do we. But when you've got 2 attacking wingers, 2 attacking forwards, and then an attacking midfielder on support, quite often you can have 4 players in really attacking positions being supported by one other, either attacking midfielder or maybe the winger on either side. You get the other winger arriving late and stuff like that. It works really nicely. But it is a bit Kevin Keegan-ish in that if it doesn't go to plan, you've also got 5 players at the wrong end of the pitch and a massive gap between them and your defence. Which is why the defensive midfield is useful as well. Get him through, Funaki. Almost. Another Funaki, different one this time. Yeah, it's all over now. Bar the shouting, it's done. 29 shots so far to their 17, so it's not like they've not had shots. Like I was saying with the kind of Kevin Keegan-esque. It doesn't stop them from attacking, you're just producing so much of your own that you kind of hope that'll stop them. Funaki? What was that? Was that meant to be a pass the middle or the wing? It didn't work for any of them. But they're the most technically gifted players currently. Standard is lower than like the Vanarama North and South, and to be honest, it's lower than the 3rd tier of the Northern Irish leagues as well. But it's a good win. We'll take that. Written us off. If we look at this, the analysis of the goals as well, you can see we're getting them in the box. There's not many coming from outside. Getting in good positions. So I'll come back in just a second for a match against the Spearheads, Nuku Hiva Spearheads. So just 1 second. Okay, so we're ready for the match against Nuku Hiva Spearheads. I'm just going to show you the prize money you mentioned. I was going to do it earlier on. So you can see for the French Polynesian Island Premiership, if you finish in 1st place and you win the title, you'll get a whole 50 grand. There's a little bit of TV money, a little bit of TV money and participation money for being in the cup and all of the cups as well. So I think the most you can really get from the domestic prize money if you win everything and do really well is about 100,000, which just helps you about break even over the course of a season. So most clubs are going to operate at a loss unless they tighten the belts or we get some increased gate receipts and things like that. So it is possible for teams to end up in administration on this. They get a 7-point deduction in the Premiership if that happens, and 5 in the Championship. Hopefully that will happen to us. We're going to play the Spearheads now in a horrible away kit. Obviously, that's my own fault for doing that. Currently we're 8th. Mahisha, Mapti, Morphia, Moria are kind of doing quite well there initially. We should hopefully beat these guys, but we'll see. So we need to get rid of the suspended player. And importantly, these players are back from international duty. Do I want him on the side anyway? I don't know. Who's the best keeper? Apparently Sarfaz, and he is one of our own rather than this. He's very good. Let's give Larue another game or 2 and then we'll go back to Sarfraz now he's hopefully recovered from his international duty. Parmentier is also injured, so we'll do that as well. And we've got Tahani on the bench, which should be interesting. I realise this episode's going to be running a little bit long. It's going to be a bit longer than the 20 minutes I'd hoped for because I'm rambling a bit. But I wanted to make sure we got the first win on camera, which we did in the last episode. But also I like rambling on about the teams. I think I'm going to aim for around 20 minutes for most episodes because that seems more of a kind of bite-sized amount you can fit into your day. Easier to record as well. But if you prefer longer, just let me know. Quite happy to ramble. And because of that, in the first few videos, we're almost there. It'll probably be less of me commentating what's going on in the match, more me telling you about the teams. So, get ready for some facts stolen from my guidebook and Wikipedia. Almost there. Nuku Hiva are a team from the Marquesas Islands. So they're an island chain sort of to the north-ish of the Tahitian mainland. So the mainland, where the capital is, the big island. Go on, get it in. On the counter now. Good tackle there. Yes, they're Marquesas Island. And they're a chain of islands that initially were explored by Europeans. So there's already people there, obviously. But by Europeans from Spain. Alvaro de Mendana was the explorer. So a lot of the islands in Marquesas have a kind of Spanish influence. Actually, some of the teams being set up so sometimes they might produce. Ooh, we shouldn't have been able to get that in. I mean, he didn't, but we shouldn't have been able to get that pass in. Never mind. Yeah, some of the islands from the Marquesas Islands will produce the occasional Spanish player for us. One or two of them. Almost. That was almost it was a beautiful ball in. We could have turned that one in, but. So yeah, they've got a kind of Spanish influence. It's the Marquesas nation that we're calling it. It's got the most amount of active kind of teams for their islands after Tahiti, or the Tahiti Societies. So they're, hopefully, for them, going to do quite well internationally because they've got a bigger player pool to draw on. Now, Nuku Hiva's got about 2,500 people on there. It's got a little prison. It's got a little airstrip. It's got lots of cows. It used to be the cows were kind of wild and people would hunt them with rifles rather than farming them. It's like farming them now. It's got a bit of TV history in that Survivor was recorded on there for one series. Ben Fogle's been there on the BBC. About 20 years ago, but he's been there. And they're called the Spearheads because there's a big kind of archaeological finds. There's a lot of history on the island from the kind of pre-colonial days, including lots of sort of spearheads that were found, various archaeological dig sites. That's why they're the Spearheads. My favourite thing about them, the island, that is, actually no, two things for this. One is that because of the kind of hills and valleys, go on, back in. Yeah, because of the hills and valleys and things like that, it's got a few little microclimates. So some of the valleys apparently look a little bit like Welsh valleys and have a similar climate. So imagine going all that way to French Polynesia and just it looking like you just come out of Llandudno or somewhere like that. Carnarvon, Harlech, that kind of thing. Which lovely places, but you don't need to travel all the way to French Polynesia to have a look at. We'll keep it as it is, or should we... On Tahiti? We'll bring on Tahiti a little bit later. But he will come on. 7 shots to their 1, it's doing well. So that's one favourite thing. It looks a little bit like Wales. I'm going to take Wikipedia's word on that. The other thing is that there is a Polynesian legend of the god Ona or Ona, who's the god of creation, and he's building an island for his building a house for his wife, and each island in this chain is a different part of the house. So Nuku Hiva, I think, means roof. So this is meant to be the roof of his house, and then there's another island that's the floor, another that acts as the kind of walls, because they're all near each other. So he's obviously a legend. That's not how what's really going on. That's part of the legend that these islands got different names because different parts of the house. And then once he was finished, there we go. He squeezed that one in. He made that look really hard. It really didn't need to be that hard. Switch slack off. Yeah, once he was finished building this mythical god house, he dumped all the rubbish into a place called Uahuka. And Uahuka is another island. So it's basically the rubbish island, the tip island. And we do have a team that plays there. Oh, is he through? No. We have the Uahuka Chevres or Goats or Malini. Almost through. So we could have a rivalry there between the Spearheads and the Goats or the Chevres. French for goat. Go on, get that back in. I just like the idea that all of these islands have got, important parts of the house that they're named after because the god who used them and built the house. And then one island's just the tip. You've got to deal with the fact it's a rubbish dump. Yeah, favourite fact. I'm hoping my next favourite fact is going to be that they are the second team we beat. First team we beat at home as well, if it carries on going well. Right, let's bring Tahiti on. And Riviera. Bring Tony on for the big man. So Tahiti, like I mentioned before, he's a real Tahitian player we've got from a Tahitian team. So I didn't delete the teams that were already in the database. They don't play in this competition anymore. And you can kind of see, I think you've probably already noticed, there's a difference in the kind of names. So the ones from the Bass Islands, from Rapaiti, have very different names to the likes of Riviera, Tahiti, Laurie, or whatever his name is in there. Tahiti almost got through. So because Tahiti has got lots of links with France, the mainland's got lots of kind of French sounding names. But the Bass Islands, the Austral Islands, Gambier Islands, they're taking their kind of names from the local name packs for the countries they've replaced. So things like American Samoa, I think, have been replaced. Riviera. Yeah, but that's why you've got a lot of very different sounding names, but you can kind of guess eventually where people are from in the database by looking at what their name is. So Tahiti to Riviera. There we go. See, we didn't win in the first match we played, but 2 on the bounce now. Looking reasonably dangerous. 20 shots to their 4. Get it out. Tahiti, is he going to grab his own? Confident is what he looks. 22 shots there, 4. I'd be confident after that, to be honest. Passionate, very pleased. Keep them happy. So there we go. We're still only mid-table. It's quite a tight table at the top as it goes. Tupai, Spearheads could be going down. But yeah, we'll come back in the next episode. We'll probably won't play against Papite Excelsior, even though they're a team from the capital of Tahiti. But we will probably come back for the Mahisha match and maybe the Mutiny Trophy match. We'll just do that one in one episode because this one has gone on a little while. But thanks very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Any comments you have, I'll happily chat to you about all things Tahiti. Probably mispronouncing things as I do it, but happy to do that. And I'll see you for the next episode. Thanks very much.